I'm a child of the Cold War, and I don't see how anybody couldn't be interested in radiation safety when you grew up with the threat of nuclear war. The job at Princeton as Assistant Radiation Safety Officer was my first job out of graduate school. Nearly every biology lab, many physics labs, many chemistry labs were using radioactivity at the time. So we were really busy. There was a cyclotron on campus, really high-powered equipment in use, and just radioactive material use wherever you went. Over the years, the use of radioactive materials has plummeted. When I first started, there were somewhere between 35 to 40 principal investigators actively using radioactive materials, and now there's less than 10. One of the things that's changed, though, is that the number of radiation-producing machines, X-ray machines, has increased, and they're in all sorts of surprising places. The Art Museum has X-ray machines. The Firestone Library has X-ray machines. We've got X-ray machines that are handheld and used to measure lead levels in Trenton. Back in the 1970s, you could put your hand directly in the X-ray beam path, and that's a very dangerous thing. But manufacturers since then have built X-ray equipment with really rigorous interlocks so that it's nearly impossible to put your hand into an X-ray beam. Most of the radioactive materials used in biological research are in very small amounts, and they're isotopes for which the hazards are very easily controlled. When I first started in the 70s, we were sometimes called the atomic police. I guess that implies that we were treated with fear and possibly respect, but I think it's far more convenient for researchers to comply with regulatory requirements than not to comply. And so if there are compliance issues, it's probably because there are things we can do to make it more convenient. And that's been my emphasis as radiation safety officer. I faced resistance as I grew up. My grandmother telling me that girls only became secretaries or teachers. Guidance counselors who laughed at me when I talked about applying to MIT. But I was a pretty persistent kid and had the support of my parents. So I ended up studying physics. And so my advice to young women entering science is to really be true to your inner nature. In a clear demonstration that radiation safety is very exciting and noisy, take a look at these things that decorate my office. That's Fiestaware glazed with uranium. Well, this is not very noisy. This is your Vaseline glass, also containing uranium. And this is Radioactive Man and Fallout Boy.